This is called class. Take a look at this, where the grade point is in open paren 3.0, comma 4.0, close paren. That's called an in list. And what it really says is where the grade point is the 3.0 or a 4.0, I could continue to fill the list with anything I wanted. And this is a great technique if you want to have a bunch of or statements easily put together. Here's an example of an in list. It's perfect, where the grade point is in 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0. Use your in lists. This SQL performs exactly the same way. It's just with a different technique. As you can see, we use our in list in the first example, where grade point is in 2.0, 3.0, or 4.0. It's the same thing as saying where the grade point equals 2.0, or the grade point equals 3.0, or the grade point equals 4.0. Performs the same, brings back the same information. It's just a little cleaner in the first example. Now we have our not in. So who's coming back here? Well, anybody that does not have a grade point of 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0. Now, this is interesting here, and you'll understand this more later on in the course or other videos. But when you're dealing with a not in, and there's a null in the list, or if it's a subquery, which we haven't covered yet, but a null's coming up in that subquery, it gives you big problems because it says this is not in, and it tries to compare it to nothing, and it freaks it out sometimes. Sometimes it returns no data. So this is a little technique when I'm dealing with a not in that guarantees success, and the boss always goes, "You're a genius, Tom." Now, I've got where grade point not in 2.0, comma 3.0, comma 4.0, or grade point is null, and that's a nice technique to use. Here's a technique that you might see out there if you've been asked to modify someone else's SQL. This is the same as an in list, where grade point equals any 2.0, comma 3.0, comma 4.0. Same thing as grade point in. This is another example that I don't think is quite as clear, but you could see out there, where grade point not equal to all, and it's 2.0, comma 3.0, 4.0, same as a not in. Here's a very important command, the between statement, where grade point between 2.0 and 4.0. Notice the data that's come back. Hey, there's some 2.0s and there's some 4.0s. That means it's inclusive. It includes the ends of 2.0 and 4.0. So the word between is a little misleading. If I was on a game show and they go, for $1 million, give me a number between 8 and 10, and I'd go, 8, it's inclusive, right? Okay, well, you might have missed that. But in your SQL, the between statement is inclusive. So if you said between 8 and 10, 8, 9, and 10 would come back. Now, we easily understood between 8 and 10 or between 2.0 and 4.0, but did you know you can use the between statement on character data? So if I asked you, I want anybody's last name that starts with an L, you could use the between statement and say, where last name between, single quote, L, end quote, and single quote, LZ, and you're going to get anybody whose last name began with an L.
This lesson brought to you by Coffing Data Warehousing. If you have questions, we have answers. Check out coffingdw.com for some great offers on our training books. Unleash the genius within.
Hi, this is Tom Coffing. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please hit subscribe to make sure you are kept up to date on all our videos.